The Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, a legend in design and innovation, awarded the best smartphone in 2016. And yes, its camera was truly ahead of its time. How does it stack up to the mighty iPhone X? This is getting me really excited. Which one will come up on top? But first, if this is your first time and you want to see more epic camera comparisons just like this one, click on subscribe and that bell icon so that you don't miss anything. And now for the camera specs! At the back, we have two 12-megapixel cameras for the iPhone X, one wide angle with an aperture of f1.8, and one telephoto lens with an aperture of f2.4. The S7, on the other hand, has only one 12-megapixel rear camera, but it is big. It also has an aperture of f1.7 and that legendary dual-pixel technology. Let's see if the S7 still has it, or will the iPhone X blast it into smithereens? Let the battle begin.
No.
Okay, here we go. Immediately you will notice that the iPhone X has a very wide field of view compared to the S7. The S7 looks to be a better photo here, but that is until we enable this. That's the portrait mode in the iPhone X. Much better. Going back to the normal photo, it just looks super wide. It's actually useful for landscape shots like this. As you can see, you get a lot in the picture here with the iPhone X, and it kinda has that fisheye effect going on. Speaking of landscapes, here's a good one. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Yep. And let's just pan over here to see if there's anything interesting to see. Well, nothing much really. But look at here at the top. Did you notice it? Right there! In the iPhone X, that building over there is still visible. Well, it's nowhere to be found on the S7. The HDR looks to be better on the iPhone X. Looks to be. Not convinced? Then what about this shot right here? Now these images right here have definitely exposed the true HDR capability of both phones. As you can see on the iPhone X, the lighting is quite balanced between this part right here in the middle and the rest of the image. In the S7 though, the foreground is quite dark and it looks like it just decided to focus on the middle part. You can also see that there is some extra detail here in the iPhone X. Let me show this to you in an actual video footage. Now here's something not boring. I love close-up shots like this, especially macro shots like this. The advantage of the S7 is that it can go really close to a subject. Its macro capabilities is quite good. But then in terms of detail and colors, the iPhone X takes the cake here. Look at that extra layer of color showing up on the iPhone X. Just amazing. More close-up shots. If you want really white or really green, go for the S7. The colors are really vivid. But if you're talking about the wow factor, it's the iPhone X. Now here is something that the S7 does quite well. The bokeh is better on the S7 here. I tried to do a portrait mode on the iPhone X. As you can see, the subject is not cut off correctly right here. Now for some low light action. Going to close in on these. iPhone X, definitely much more saturated. But the S7 here is actually performing better in low light. Look at this poster right here. The words are much more readable on the S7 than the iPhone X. But here the iPhone X is better at controlling that lens flare. And here. And here. As you can see, the lighting on the S7 is kind of washed out here. Same story goes for this flamingo shot right here. Same result with the light. And that color on the iPhone X is just amazing. But in terms of brightness, the S7 definitely brighter here. Now for some extreme low light shots. Both already getting a lot of noise here. But which one is noisier? Definitely the S7. Now it's time for some video action. Yes, slow motion.
I tell them that you're just a picture in a frame. I dissolve with the salt on your skin. I know that we shouldn't be doing this so low. Focus on my tone. Feel your heartbeat stuttering slow-mo.
It's time for these two to showcase their selfie prowess. Selfie cameras tell a different story, and that story is about you. Can the S7 Edge tell your story better, or will the iPhone X make it much more epic? It's time to battle! Now here's the result when taking selfie in vertical orientation. The S7 with a wider field of view, and iPhone X really close and personal here. iPhone X definitely sharper, but as a selfie image, the S7 here is definitely more Instagrammable. Smoother and wider skin, a smaller, more flattering face, and just looks good overall. But the S7 can never do this portrait shot for that really nice bokeh effect. But yeah, I would really love to see some kind of beauty mode on the iPhone X.
Hey guys, this is the Samsung S7 Edge and this is iPhone X. Sayaw!
Hey guys, I'm in a parking lot, as you can see. Let's just walk to our next destination. Guess where I am? Looks like my face is darker on the iPhone. Hey, hi. Alright, thank you so much.
Scoring time! There were times that the S7 had the edge, pun not intended, but really the iPhone X is the overall better shooter here. It only fell short during slow-mo video, even though the resolution was higher than the S7. But in this selfie battle, the S7 was better for me. Apple needs to really add some beauty in their selfies. And now to announce a winner! Drum rolls, please! And the winner is the iPhone X. Yes, overall the iPhone X indeed had all the features it needed to come up on top. But the S7 is still a great camera phone, even today really. If you have one, guys, be proud. The S7 is a legend, and forever will stay in our hearts. As always guys, drop a like if you like this video, and also be sure to subscribe to us to see more epic comparisons just like this one. This is Vince Domingo from Tech Beans, and I'll see you on the next video.